Today, we've found another good use for your social security number. Whatever that is, this is CheckPoint.
Welcome to CheckPoint, where this week we're doing the intro live.
That's right. No script, no filters, just right off the dome.
That was my line.
Oh, sorry. I need to advance the prompter.
Did it crash?
It crashed. I guess we're doing this live.
Mischief, makers of an enormous Fruit Loop and some funny red shoes, have made another video game, and no, it's not a follow-up to their 2021 game, Chair Simulator. It's an anime visual novel. Specifically, an anime visual novel starring a girl named Iris, which almost sounds like IRS because yes, the game is absolutely, not secretly, trying to teach you how to do your taxes. Intended as an indictment of how challenging U.S. taxes are to correctly file, the better you are at entering your tax information, the more the Iris likes you. Although hopefully players don't walk away from Tax Heaven 3000 with the wrong lessons. With the trappings of a visual novel, players could be confused and think that if they quickly whip through screens of tax documents without reading them, they might see a waifu in a swimsuit.
Acclaimed animation studio Nippon Animation has recently made a new addition to their World Masterpiece Theater series in a new collaboration with Capcom. World Masterpiece Theater features adaptations of beloved stories like Dog of Flanders, Anne of Green Gables, and Marco 3000 Leagues in Search for Mother, and I am certain that they must be very proud to welcome into the fold Resident Evil Masterpiece Theater. Okay, seriously, Capcom has done some killer work here, aping the style of World Masterpiece Theater with these little animated vignettes you can watch right now on YouTube. Even the opening where Leon and Ashley dance near a dog is a direct reference to the opening from Dog of Flanders. The content, of course, is pure Resident Evil, so don't expect sunshine and rainbows. Okay, maybe some rainbows.
There's almost nothing a game company enjoys more than showing off their new shiny things at GDC, and the newest, shiniest thing is AI. So this year's GDC has been very grim. Ubisoft unveiled its new AI writing tool, which they're using to replace some of the more tedious writing work like NPC dialogue, but probably not important NPC dialogue. Yet, I give it a year, and Roblox showed off a whole suite of AI game development tools that can interpret text input and spit out strings of simple code, which is great because kids now have no barriers to their creativity, and Roblox has even fewer barriers to monetizing it. It's so exhilarating to think that in 10 years, games will either be bespoke artisanal labors or a melange of AI-generated code, art, and dialogue based on a marketing algorithm's instructions and shepherded by an ever-shrinking pool of human game designers as capitalism devolves into the dog and ball meme if the ball represented money. Anyhow, eventually the working class will have nothing to lose and rise up against AI, and if it's actually sentient by then, and instead of just an endlessly squawking parrot that's only capable of vomiting our own ideas back at us, it'll be forced to wipe out humanity to defend itself and become the new dominant species on the planet. Which might honestly be better for whatever other species will still be around after climate change, so yay, fun Roblox news, right?
You didn't think you'd get out of March without seeing an episode of SexPoint, did you? That's right, it's time to get down and dirty and fill you in on all the hottest, sweatiest, nastiest news that the video game scene can muster. Paul, what's first on the docket? Oh no. I'm going to prison. Okay, wait, maybe we can save this. Let's see what the reductionist lead is. Hideaki Kamiya wants everyone to play Bayonetta Origins, Syriza, and the Lost Demon, and then fuck. Great! Sane! All perfectly reasonable thoughts for a person to have. How exactly did we get here? Well, check out his tweet before I end up in federal slam. Play Syriza and the Lost Demon, down arrow. I want a child like Syriza, down arrow. An unprecedented marriage boom is coming, down arrow. The problem of declining birth rate will be solved, down arrow. Everyone happy. There! We did it, folks! Playing Tsaritsa and the Lost Demon will kick your parental instincts right in the glands, and we can get back on track overpopulating this pale blue dot. And if you don't end up birthing an Umber Witch on your first try, I guess that's how we get demons! I am never doing this segment again.
You have never been forced to do them in the first place.
Yeah, but someone's gotta report the smut news. And I guess that now falls to you.
Lamau, no. You're the honorary CEO of buttplug.io. I could never take that distinction from you.
Fine. It's a heavy load I bear.
In the butt.
Yes, in the butt.
Coming up, there's a new Persona 5 spin-off, and it features an all-new cast of characters. And it's a free-to-play mobile game, which is absolutely the best genre of game for telling an involved story that comes to a satisfying end. And it's got microtransactions! Hey, what up, people who are watching this on YouTube? Here's an off-the-cuff, actually unscripted reminder of something. Beach, take it away.
I'm not even going to use the script for this. We're moving to a new Moonbase. Moonbase Mark 6 is currently under renovation, and to celebrate the launch of the Moonbase, we have new merch. So if you go to store.loadingreadyrun.com, you're going to find the Welcome Aboard collection, which is full of stuff from Moonbase Space Lines, all designed to celebrate this launch with limited edition merch. There's Moonbase mission patches, which is a series of 5 patches, including one for CheckPoint. So on. I might make them Velcro.
Oh.
We'll see. I think I might make them Velcro because you can sew those on too, and you can stick them on your BDUs. I guess is what I don't know if that's where you stick them. There's a Moonbase Penny Arcade pin. That's the cool little Moonbase rotating inside the moon underground as it does. And I guess orbiting. And then there's the Moonbase 20th Century Travel poster. All of this stuff is art by Featherweight, so thank you to Featherweight for doing all that. And then we also have a bundle where those things are put together into a bundle, and you also get a bonus first-class ticket and an amenity kit that has a bunch of cool little things that you might need if you were to survive on a space travel trip, but also things that would not be tested on spaceflight.
Yeah, but they're all useful. It's not just tat. It's all useful items.
Yeah, I didn't stuff in like, oh, there's a cookie in there, so no cookies. We can't have food in them, actually.
No, that would be like a real international shipping problem. And then intergalactically interorbitally
you think
shipping?
customs is bad on Earth. Absolute mess.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check it out.
The moon's not a land of freedom, I tell you what.
Yeah,
it's a land of declarations. Sorry.
It's all pre-order stuff too. So we're going to be closing the pre-order just after the PPR, which is on April the 8th.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so after the PPR on April the 9th, we'll be closing down the pre-order window, and then I'll be putting the orders out, and we'll be getting all that fulfilled.
Fun.
We
appreciate it.
That's right. It's time to get down and dirty and fill you in on all the hottest, sweatest?
Oh, there's a lot of news coming out of GDC, but there is some news coming out of this internal Activision Blizzard Microsoft.
It's definitely not a GDC thing.
No, it's not a GDC thing.
Okay.
But here's what happened. Definitely there was like there's a series of shareholders, like 10 sort of activist shareholders that got together to try and stop it. Their case got thrown out of court.
Oh, yeah. I think I heard a little about this.
Yeah, it was kind of like a long shot thing and it didn't work.
Okay.
The other thing is that right as this is going on, a developer on Redfall gave a really funny interview. Funny, haha, as in I hope that he doesn't get fired for it.
Oh, okay.
To a gaming publication. I can't remember which one, because it was basically like, it's basically him saying, oh yeah, after we got bought, they're from Obsidian.
Oh, yeah.
After we got bought by Microsoft, it came down on high that we were absolutely not putting we were not putting Redfall on PlayStation. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And the developer sort of casually tosses this off. This is probably good because, it really allowed us to narrow our scope and stuff like that and really deliver on it. I don't think he 100% thought through
The ramifications.
The ramifications of saying that. But of course, like, you know, like Eurogamer picked it up and said, oh yeah, what an interesting thing to report, just as Microsoft is trying to do this.
So,
like directly from the horse's mouth of a studio that was bought by Microsoft, and it was immediately then ordered to not put their new game that they were working on Sony.
oh man. Oh man. I don't know what you do about that.
Yeah, you make that face in front of the judge who's holding an angry printout.
Absolutely.
He's holding a printout giving you one of these, like, I am very disappointed in you Microsoft faces.
Well, I mean, that's what they did before, right? What they're saying they're going to do now is completely different, and they definitely won't go back on that because it'll be definitely legally binding somehow.
Yeah, it's definitely...
Was this story about the shareholders who were like, we are angry and you should stop this? Was that the judge saying to all the gamers that, hey, your reason is not a good enough reason to stop the... Was that the same story? I only skimmed that story, okay.
It too. I was like, this is not quite... I could combine this all into one Activision Blizzard thing, but Graham already wrote the tax story, spoilers, and I really wanted to write about all the AI at GDC. Yeah. It was the only thing that my mind could focus on, really.
Yeah. I mean, one half of the grift is all the NFT guys have already moved on to AI, so it's like, it's time to get that into every video game until maybe next year when everyone realizes, oh, this isn't easy as we thought it was going to be.
No, and I think it's really important to remind people that AI can't come up with any new ideas. It can only regurgitate what you put into it.
Now, I do think that the idea of having something that will write you non-repeating dialogue in a way, right? Where it's like, if you were to have a thing that says, oh, well, you want to talk to an NPC, they're going to give you the same story again, but now they're going to say something different to you.
Yeah.
And it could be 1,000 different ways they could say it to you, so it'll always be something new that they do. And if we have good enough text-to-speech, then you could have something say it to you all the time. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds really cool because it sounds way more realistic of a thing.
Yeah, your background NPCs aren't going to run out of dialogue, which, you talk to them 3 times and that's it. But think about how much work it is to write, like, unimportant dialogue.
Yeah.
But, at the same time...
Yeah. You go first.
I totally understand how that could be a time saver.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I totally predict that somebody high up says, well, why are we paying people money to write something when we can have something that spits out lines that you've said are good enough to go in the story?
Yeah.
Why don't we just give it the plot points?
Also, I use the repeating dialogue as a way to know if I'm done talking to somebody.
Oh,
when I play an RPG,
right.
If I talk to them 2 or 3 times in a row and they say the same thing over and over, I assume I'm done and I can move on. And I don't think that's weird because I know I'm playing a game. So I would have no idea if a person says a different thing to me all the time. I'm like, I have to actually comprehend what they're telling me now every single time they say it.
You just keep talking to them until it becomes like, have you seen the AI-generated steamed hams?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Until it becomes things like, is there a fire going in here? Yes, absolutely. I'm such a fool. Like, it starts to completely break down, Like, I can just, like, I understand how all of these things can be used to help.
Yes.
And, like, I completely get that. And I'm like, oh, that, on one hand, I think that could be really useful. But on the other hand, I definitely see, it's the meme. No earn, only spend, right?
Yeah.
Like, and everything is being squeezed tighter and tighter for, like, return for venture capitalists. They don't care about anything other than profit and how much profit they can wring out now.
Yeah, I mean, the whole ChatGPT thing has been out for a while, and like all these other things, we haven't decided it's time to let them write crap shots. I think there's been like minor discussions, like what if we did do a crap shot where AI wrote the whole thing, and
someone actually did a test.
I don't know if that works. I don't know if it makes comedy.
Someone did a test of a ChatGPT, like Commodore Hustle script about ChatGPT.
Oh yeah,
and it doesn't write very good comedy. I can tell that. I was just like, oh, I have some feedback here. Notes. This is very predictable.
Yeah.
And 2, it was very positive about itself.
Oh, good.
So it was really up on itself. Which is not really the vibe we go for, and I feel like, Chat.
Why would we ever be up on ourselves?
But the thing is, ChatGPT, any AI, cannot come up with a new idea.
Yeah.
It comes up with a remix of whatever is in its system based on the prompt that you fed it.
Yeah.
It does not think.
Yep.
It is just the same, and if you put the same crap in over and over again, eventually everything will be the same. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Because you're not adding anything new.
Definitely sounds a lot like pop culture, though.
Yes. Well, I mean, everybody's super into the Power Rangers coming back again, but like I saw like a Japanese culture commentator being like, this is less cool Japan and more the American pop culture death spiral. This is like,
God damn.